UNCW freshman cross-country and track runner Evan Jones remembers the day vividly. Hurricane Irma was bearing down on his home in St. John, Virgin Islands, and there was nothing he could do.
The storm hit on a Sunday, so I knew that I just had to get outside, so I went on like a 14-mile long run just on my own. We got hit by two back-to-back Category 5s, Hurricane Irma and Hurricane Maria. They had wind gusts of 180 to 200 mile an hour winds. Knocked my roof off of my house, and the amount of damage is unbelievable. It's pretty tough being here while that was going on. Just like the first week, I didn't even know if my parents were alive or not because I couldn't get in touch with them. There's no cell service, there's no Wi-Fi, there was nothing.
St. John is still in the rebuilding stages after being the bullseye for two Category 5 hurricanes, Irma and Maria, in a span of 2 weeks. But Jones will return to the Caribbean this weekend to compete in the Carifta Games for the third time, an opportunity he couldn't pass up.
So the Carifta Games are basically, it's a combined track meet with all of the Caribbean islands. I've been doing it since 2015. I think that my first year I did it was in Grenada, and last year was in Curacao, and this year it's in the Bahamas. So I'm really excited.
The Carifta Games is an annual event that pits the best of the Caribbean nations against each other.
So he's done it before, and they reached out to him and asked him if he'd be able to do it. And, and it actually worked out that it was a weekend that we don't have a meet on. So it's just kind of cool that somebody gets to go and represent their country and or his territory, I guess, in this respect.
So last year and the year before, I got 5th and then 4th. So I've always wanted a medal. So this year is my year to medal. It's my last year before I age out because it's U20. So this year I'm getting a medal. That is my one goal from this trip, is to medal.
Competing on the international front is a long way from the start Evans had early on in St. John.
There's a local road race back home called the 8 Tough Miles, and it's a race on St. John from one end of the island to the other. And my dad entered me in it when I was about 8 years old, and I was pretty good. And then in about 5th grade, I joined cross country and just started from there. I got better and better and better, and then in high school I realized I loved it.
Jones is a key contributor to the success of the family business during the summer months, lending a hand in whatever way he can.
So I help my dad a lot. My dad, he runs a kayaking and paddleboarding business. He runs tours to the various keys like around St. John. So during the summer and sometimes during the year, he also he just needs a lot of help. So I take people out on tours and teach them about the various keys, about the ocean, about the history of the Virgin Islands.
Looking ahead, you don't need a crystal ball to see the future for this marine biology major.
So I grew up, 75 feet from the water my whole life. So all of my weekends were spent fishing, kayaking, paddleboarding, and scuba diving, snorkeling, all that stuff. So I found a passion for being underwater. I'd love to do some research. We have a really great marine biology program back home, actually, at the University of the Virgin Islands, and I might go to grad school there. Hopefully get some good research while I'm there.
In the meantime, Jones, who is competing in the 1,500 meters and 5K in the Bahamas, is relishing the opportunity to represent St. John in a major competition in his own backyard.
Not very many athletes get an opportunity to compete at something that big against other people from other countries. He's a tremendous worker. He's a good person. He's well liked. He's turning out to be just the exact kind of kid you really like to have in your program. So look forward to working with him for 3 more years.
So coming here was a big jump for me, but I love it. I don't think college would be the same without being on the track team.